Hi, I'm Shipra Shresi. In this video, you'll learn about CMS Connect JSON feature and how to make it work for you. CMS Connect helps you display content from a third-party external content management system in your Salesforce Lightning Communities. CMS Connect JSON pulls in external content using JSON API. Through point-and-click declarations, you can build the UI in a Lightning Communities page. Let's see this in a demo. I'm going to bring in blogs from a Capricorn website having blogs on coffee hosted on WordPress. Capricorn is just an example site and you can use it for any of your similar websites. I want to display these blogs in a Lightning community for more customer engagement and information sharing. As you can notice, these blogs are getting displayed in a community which is done using CMS Connect JSON feature. We provide two types of UI layouts for showing the JSON data, content list and content item. Using content list layout, you can show multiple blocks in a grid layout along with pagination support. Using content item, you can show detail of a single block which can be displayed by clicking on Read More on a block card, which shows the detail of a block. Before using the feature, there are a few prerequisites. Enable CORS if the resource is made to be not accessible to external sites like our community. Get JSON URL for retrieving content. Here are a few examples on how to get endpoint from WordPress. I'm going to focus on WordPress as an example CMS system. However, information translates well to any CMS provider that supports JSON API for retrieving content like Drupal or Adobe Experience Manager. If the site is based on WP REST, use WP JSON to get the content. If it's based on WordPress.com, use public API WordPress.com. For this example site, which is based on WordPress.com, JSON URL to get the content will be by replacing the $site variable in the URL with the website endpoint, which shows the JSON response. It's always helpful to preview your JSON payload using the URL to understand the data format of your CMS system. The supported media type of the response is application/JSON. Now that you are ready to configure CMS Connect, let's see step by step on how to use the feature. First step is to create a CMS connection. To set this up in Community Workspaces, click on CMS Connect tile, click on New, enter name, say Capricorn, choose CMS source as WordPress because the content provider system is WordPress for this example, connection type as public. For getting server URL, convention used is JSON URL is divided into two parts, server URL, which is hostname, and remaining is JSON path. From this endpoint, copy the server URL, provide it here. A root path or CSS or scripts are not needed for JSON connection. Click on Add JSON. Enter a content name, say blogs, which is used for grouping similar content list and item. Create a content list by clicking on this link. Provide a name, say featured blogs. Provide a path for it, which is the remaining path from this endpoint. And remember that the path is relative to the server URL provided here. Create a content item for the same content type. Provide name, blog item. For getting the path of a content item, JSON in the WordPress provides a URL by appending the post ID. For this example, to get the content of blog ID 38, just append 38 at the end of the URL. So the quantum item path will be this endpoint provided here. Replace the ID value with variable component, which is a dynamic variable to indicate a post ID. For ID path, find the unique identifier of the post in the JSON response. To get that, go to the JSON viewer of the payload. ID of the blog is mapped to ID field of the payload. Enter that value here. For title, find the unique identifier name for the post in the JSON response payload. The title of the blog with the signs of brewing is mapped to title field. Provide that value here. Values provided for ID and title helps in sitemap generation needed for SEO support of detailed page. Click on Save. Now the next step is configuring the page where you want to use the connection. For that, navigate to Community Builder. In Community Builder, drag drop CMS Connect JSON component onto page where you want the content to get displayed. Select a CMS source, which is Capricorn for this example. Select JSON content, featured blocks. Content list node path. Provide the start node of the content list. Going to the payload, observe the blog data. So all blog data are grouped under a node called post, which is the start node of the collection. So go to the community builder, and in the property editor, provide the value as post. Prepend it with @ to indicate that it's a JSON expression. Select the grid for the content list layout. In card layout, provide a mapping between component layout fields and JSON field of the payload. Analyzing the JSON payload, I have a snapshot diagram of JSON response payload and JSON expression for each field. The expression here follows JSON pointer specification. So going by this example, author path is author/name, title is title, image maps to featured underscore image, and date maps to date. Having this information, go back to the community builder and provide this mapping for title, author, and these fields are optional. If you don't want any of these fields to be displayed in your card, you can simply ignore that. For this example, I'm providing value for each of these fields. Once this is done, click on Save. Clicking on Save here will auto-create a page which is auto-configured for the JSON type. Clicking on the page name will load the auto-created page. The default page name is CMS source name hyphen the content type name. In this example, Capricorn hyphen blogs. And you can change the page properties using the change base URL. For example, if you want a different URL for your detailed page, that can be changed from here. Now let's verify this feature in the preview or in the home mode. Going to the preview URL, as you can notice, the list of blogs are showing up in your community. Clicking on read more will load the detailed page of the blog. So with a few simple steps of point and click, you're able to bring the content from WordPress site. Thanks for going through the video.